influencing popular culture, politics, and everything in between. The local station takes you ringside as we discuss the crazy world that is professional wrestling. This is Going Ringside with the local station.
Oh, God! Oh, my God! This is not what I'm paid for! That right there is this skull being attacked by WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley during an interview with that man, which we're going to have in a little bit, Abdullah the Butcher, who also goes off on me well, but Foley in a little more brutal fashion. Stay tuned for that during our interview with Abdullah the Butcher. But first, on this episode of Going Ringside, I'm your host, Scott Johnson. Welcome to the show. Bit of a brutal show, but we're going to start actually with that man. We've had Abdullah on a few times, and we're excited to talk to him. But that man right there, Ahmed Johnson, Big Tony Norris. Remember him? One of the biggest guys in all the company for WWF back in the day in the mid-1990s. Really the guy that Vince McMahon, you could tell, wanted to be one of his major stars. He eventually goes to WCW with Harlem Heat. When they did the repackaging of Harlem Heat 2000, got rid of Booker T, kept him with Stevie Ray. I was very excited when I was able to sit down with Ahmed Johnson about his interesting career. So let's get to that first, then we'll have Abdullah a little later on with the tease we showed you at the top of the show. So let's get to it. Here's our first interview with that man right there, Ahmed Johnson. Well, we're joined today by Tony Norris. You may have known better back in the day as Ahmed Johnson. I may go back and forth with Tony and Ahmed, but thanks for joining us on the show today.
Fine.
So what's going on in your world now, sir?
Just basically at home. I work for an oil company now called Dresser-Ran.
Okay.
And just at home, take care of the wife and the kids.
Gotcha. So how did it start for you? I want to say it was mid-90s when you came in. Is that roughly right? To
Yes.
WWF, at least.
Yes.
That's where I first saw you.
Yes, it was mid-90s.
Did you start in WWF or did you do some stuff before that?
Well, I did a lot of stuff before then, and I went to Global.
Okay.
That's Old Federation, and I did a lot of stuff before then. Then I got, picked up and ready to go.
Yeah, you had such an iconic look. Did you know that quickly, or did people tell you that?
Well, people write me and say you're scared of me.
Really?
We're so scared of you. And people would even come up to meet me because that look, you said, But it was just for the guys in the ring. It wasn't for the people.
So how did the WWF transition happen? Did they call you? You call them? How did that work?
They called me. And they called me at home. It was a funny thing. Vince called me at home, and I thought it was somebody playing a joke on me. So I was very rude to him.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah.
You thought it wasn't really Vince McMahon?
Yeah, I thought it was somebody playing a joke.
Yeah.
So then come to find out, the next morning, knock at my door, and it's the UPS agent with tickets to Stafford, Connecticut.
Oh, my God.
I was like, what's this?
This is next level for you.
Yeah, so I had to apologize to him when I seen him.
So you get in there. What was the conversation with Vince like on what they wanted from you?
He didn't really, they really didn't say what they wanted from me. They, gave me the name Ahmed Johnson, and they kind of just threw me out there and just gambling to see what happened, to see if, I was going to be a babyface or a heel. But they didn't tell me, I want you to be a babyface, I want you to be a heel. They just said, just go out.
Yeah. And so you go out, and very quickly, you go from just this new guy, you're pushed really quickly. What was that like?
That was great. That was great. Getting slammed, Big Yokozuna, the legend.
Yeah, back up. I'm gonna do one at a time. The Yokozuna Slam. How did that come about?
That's my first day there at work.
That was your first day?
My first day there. And Vince said, I want you to go out, I want you to slam Yokozuna. And I'm like, but I went to Yokozuna and I said, Yoko, Vince wanted me to slam you. And Yoko says, okay, because I'm not jumping and helping you.
Oh, my God.
And he meant that, brother. And I got in there, he didn't move an ounce at first. Then I finally got him up, but it was like picking up a Volkswagen,
Yeah. The fact that you could slam Yoko, by far the heaviest I'm sure you ever had to even touch, yeah.
Yes. He was probably he was close to 700 pounds then.
Okay. What was it like when the celebrity started at that point? You go from probably no one knows you in global.
Right.
And then Vince brings you in. You're not mid-card. You're put to upper card pretty quickly. What was that like?
That was a rush. You know, that was a rush. But, you know, I still am me, and you can't find a fan nowhere that said I treated him bad or did anything to him. And just about every fan that came to me, I would, you know, shake their hand and talk to them. And I was being a babyface, but in the ring, I was wrestling like a heel. So,
what do you mean? What do you mean you're wrestling like a heel?
My moves were kind of really powerful and really intense.
Yeah.
That's the thing about me, was the intensity.
Yeah.
And they were really intense, and that's what a heel's supposed to do.
Okay. So one of the teams I remember you working with a lot was Road Warriors. You guys you very much complimented LOD at that point.
Yes. Animal,
what
I
was it
loved
like
them.
working with Animal and Hawk?
Oh, it was great, man. It was great, especially Hawk. Hawk was one of them dudes, man. You just can't hate Hawk. He's one of the guys that'll stick to you. And Animal was a good guy. Animal was more quiet. He was more quiet and laid back type.
Now, one of the big angles that everyone remembers you for is Nation and Domination, back and forth with the Nation.
Yes, indeed.
Tell me about it.
It was fun sometimes it wasn't. You know?
Why wasn't it at times?
Because sometimes it got serious.
Really?
Yeah. The hits and the punches got a little serious sometimes.
With Ron?
Yeah, me and Ron had our little back and forth.
Okay.
Like when I don't know if you remember the first match with Ron when he had that blue stuff on, like a Viking or something. Mm-hmm. And he kicked my kidney, he ruptured my kidney.
Okay. I remember you had an injury.
Yeah, so I went out for a while, and I came back. I had to get him back, so I slammed him through a table, and he broke 3 of his ribs.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So this is like really brutal stuff you guys are going through.
It got serious for a minute there, but we're good friends now. Everything's come down. No, I love the man. Had no hatred for him or anything.
You went through it was like a heel then a face turn or something. It was kind of back and forth for you for a short time
they
there.
took me from Ahmed Johnson being in the Nation nomination.
Yeah.
And my time in the Nation was cool, but it was Vince called to the office and said, I want you guys to see something. And he played the tape for us. And it's just me, D-Lo, Common, and Farouk walking down the stage, coming to the ring. He said, now who am I going to get to believe that y'all can be beat? There were too many powerhouses on one little squad, you know?
Yeah. Now, this is right at the time Rock arrives.
Oh, yeah.
What was that like? Did anyone knew he was going to be what he was?
No, nobody thought The Rock would end up like he did. Nobody. I don't think The Rock even knew he was going to end up like that.
Really?
But, you know, he had what it takes. He swept the Nation. You know, I'll give man all the praise, you know?
Yeah. Well, you were there at your end, I remember. You're one of the people they started when they brought in Kane. And yes. Kane was kind of Taker's brother. They just had him run roughshod through everyone.
Yeah, he roughshod me too, you know, like 2 moves and the Kane slam. You know, I didn't know what that was all about.
Were the guys frustrated with that? Like, they're having I think Vader did as well, a few others, yeah.
And some of the guys got very frustrated with that.
They did?
Yeah. Some of the guys were very frustrated. And that match with Vader, I love Vader. Yeah. That's one of my boys. Because he loved to hit hard, and I love to hit hard. Yeah. So he came in the locker room and told me one day, he said, before a match, he said, Ahmed, he said, I'm going to let you have it in there. And I thought he was joking. I said, yeah, right, okay. Yeah. First hit, he hit me so hard, I thought my brain is shipped out my head or something. And then from that point on, it was a rough, tough match. Yeah. A bunch of hard hitting.
And so eventually you go to WCW. And I think it was Harlem Heat.
Yes.
Is that right? What
Harlem
was
Heat
that like?
2000. What me and Stevie Ray kind of grew up together a little bit.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So we were wrestling together before him and Booker T was. Okay. You know, so you know, Stevie Ray and I used to, you know, kind of patrol the streets. We were security guards. We kind of kept things, you know, clean, proper. You didn't want to run into Ahmed and Stevie Ray on the property, you know. Yeah. And everything was just good with Harlem Heat, me and Stevie.
What is life like for you now? Is just kind of family life, doing some conventions now?
Yes, sir. I'm doing some conventions now, and yeah, it's all family life now.
How can people track you if they ever want to keep track of you?
They can hit me on Facebook.
Okay. What do they search?
It's Ahmed Johnson or Delta Ops. Go to Delta Ops. That's better. Ops.
Okay, that's probably better.
That's
Ahmed Johnson, Tony Norris, thanks so much for joining us on the show today.
Thank you.
Nice to have you on. Thank you. So excited to sit down with Tony Norris or Ahmed Johnson. I was a huge Ahmed Johnson fan. I was a teenager when he was at his peak. I was like, wow, this guy is impressive. Now I got to move on to what I teased at the top of the show. That man, friend of the show, you can see what happened to me, Abdullah the Butcher. So we've had Abdullah on a couple times. Great interview, tells it like it is, and even, he's not in the greatest shape. He's getting in better shape, by the way, since we did this interview. But I wanted to ask him about a specific match. I don't know if you remember, if you look it up, the Chamber of Horrors match from an old Halloween Havoc. Many people say it's one of the corniest matches in history because of how it ended. They put him in an electric chair and pretended to electrocute him. So I start asking these hard-hitting questions, not really thinking, who's right next to me? That would be his best friend in life, Mick Foley, who's overhearing this interview. So I pay a heavy price between the two hardcore legends. I need to watch my P's and Q's if I'm sitting between two men like that. But let's get to it. Here's friend of the show. Great interview. Here is Abdullah the Butcher.
What do you want?
Okay, we're here with Abdullah the Butcher. Oh, not the fork. Not the fork.
I gotta do the fork on you.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh God.
I got it. I got him. Go. Say something.
I quit. I'm tapping out. I give. Oh my God. You still work the gimmick after all these years.
I have to keep going.
You have to keep going.
And it's a pleasure to see you again.
Nice to see you again. Abdullah, I want to talk to you about a few things. We've had you on the show a few times. One thing I want to ask you about, the big Chamber of Horrors match you did years ago where they electrocuted you. Do you remember that one? Oh, you got something? I wanted to know how they pitched that to you.
A long story, I'm gonna tell you.
Okay. She's getting some for us. Oh, there it is. Abdullah getting electrocuted. Let's show that to the camera right there. That is one of the more iconic images in pro wrestling
I'm
history.
sorry I electrocuted you.
Oh my God, Mick, you did it!
That was my fault. Yeah, it was a mistake. It was an honest mistake. Could have happened to anyone. Who
Mick,
hasn't electrocuted?
how could you have done that to him?
Hey, it's a long time has passed. Water under the bridge. No need for a guy like you to bring it up again.
I'm sorry.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah. Give me that fork, Abby.
Oh God! Oh my God! This is not what I'm paid for. This is not what I'm paid for. Oh my God! This is brutal. This is how you live your life.
I live it. But let me tell you, the promoters thought they were going to shaft me. So they went to swerve. Cactus Jack pushed the button, and I was locked in. This is the way they tried to beat me. But then 12 guys in white suits came out to pick me up and carry me out. And I beat the shit out of all of them. And Jim Barnett said, you said that you were going to kill him. How the hell can you kill him? And he killed 12 of your top men.
How did they come to you at the beginning and say, Abby, we want to sit you in the middle ring and put you in the electric chair? How does that come up?
They didn't do it that way.
How'd they do it?
They shafted me. They says, the guy will have you have the guy in the barrel, right? All of a sudden, he'll turn, and you put him in there real fast, and then Cactus Jack will push the button and lock him in, right? But it didn't happen that way. It was a double switch. So I says, oh, okay. But then when I see the other guys, 12 guys come out, I said, I'm going to beat the out of them. And when they opened the cage up, I started giving them the karate, threw them outside, beat the and shit like that. And Jim Barnett says, he told you, Dusty, I thought you were going to show me that you could have him beat. And he says, he went out there and beat 12 men. That made him stronger. Plus the electric chair, that I walked out with an electric chair, right, burning and still beating the shit out of him.
Oh my goodness.
So it made me.
You'd never done anything like that in wrestling. You'd done a lot in wrestling, but this was kind of new for you, wasn't it?
Everybody tries to work an angle on the Butcher, but I'm coming up with a book pretty soon, the true story of Abdullah the Butcher.
So people can pick up a copy of your book when it comes out.
Yes, yes,
And they can follow you like on Instagram and places to see when it's going to come out?
yes.
Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram and Facebook.
Ab the Butcher.
Do you know roughly the month we're expecting it to come out?
Probably sometime next year.
Next year.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be watching for it. We'll be watching for this. Is got to be an incredible book, Abby.
Yeah.
We'll be watching. Thanks for joining us on the show today.
But listen, sir, next time I'm going to do it for real.
My cameraman is now nervous too. Thanks, Abby. As a result, I don't know if I'm going to have Abby on the show again if he's going to do it for real on me. I want to point out something. Go check out Abdullah the Butcher on Instagram right now, Ab the Butcher. So since we did that interview in 2024, he's made major progress on being able to be vertical again and start walking again. So he's been working with DDP, Diamond Dallas Page. He's posted a lot of videos in recent weeks of him getting vertical again, making a lot of progress with his health. So it's a great story that DDP, just another wrestler he's helping out. Go check out Ab the Butcher on Instagram. You can see the videos of how much progress Abdullah the Butcher is making in his health and being able to be mobile again, which is great news to hear for friend of the show, Abdullah the Butcher. So thanks to Abdullah. Thanks to Big Tony Norris, Ahmed Johnson, and I don't know that I have a thanks to Mick Foley, who decided to, give me the response the hard way with a fork to the forehead, but Mick interjected as well in this show. So thank you for joining us on this episode of Going Ringside. We'll see you back here next time.
This has been Going Ringside with The Local Station, brought to you every Wednesday on your favorite podcast player, on News4Jax Plus, as well as the News4Jax YouTube channel.